I have no idea how I'm going to explain this to the head of my order. This will be a long and entertaining conversation. In the meantime, you have a feathered scholar to speak with. You passed some of my trusted associates when we entered Sunamir. I want them tasked to investigate and catalog what we find. In the meantime, you're our resident expert on scribing. You need to learn everything you can. You couldn't be more right. What are the luminaries? How do they relate to this lost art of scribing? We have more questions than answers. Luckily, we also have you. Give the crow my regards, Traveler. I'm a touch nervous to bring this to the Votary Commander and Archmage Galerion. This is going to come as quite a surprise. And those two hate surprises. I'll be fine. Probably. Of course. We really jumped into the boggy end of the swamp together, didn't we? Answering a few questions is the least I can do for the world's foremost expert on scribing. My plan is to bring in Ernard, who opened the portal for you, as well as Laren and Julian. You passed them back in Sunamir. And Chronicler Ferandil. He'll be invaluable here and can keep the other three in line. Votary Laren and I have gotten each other out of more scrapes than I can count. Julian is sour as a plum, but she's one of the smartest people I know. And Ernard doesn't look like much, but he cuts through guild politics like a spell-forged blade. Ferandil is... well, he's not much fun at parties. But put him in front of a stack of moldy old tomes and he'll have them organized, catalogued, and analyzed faster than you can say Eye of Magnus 3 times fast. Oh, me? Not much to tell, really. I grew up in a guild family. My mother was an adept, and my father was a researcher back in Eldenroot. I started off sort of following in the family business, but most magic just kind of eludes me. Yeah, swords always made more sense to me than spells. Portals and I get along great, something about how they come together, like a good riddle. But most magic and I just don't get along, much to my father's chagrin. Each knight takes a solemn vow to protect the Mages Guild, its members, and its goals. When we're available, we also go in first to deal with situations like this, trying to assess the unknown before letting the adepts get their hands dirty. There aren't many votaries in the Order right now, part of why I joined up. I tried the adept's life before that. Being a lamp knight suits me better, even if I still get called on for my portal magic just as much as before.
I'm glad you've chosen to stay, Interloper. The path to master scribing is not an easy one, but its rewards are innumerable. Your knight appears to be leaving. Did I ruffle her feathers with my cause? A guild of mages? Fascinating, but a topic for another conversation. Let's stay focused. Ulfsild prepared for the day that someone would follow in her footsteps. She left behind resources, notes, and information for her eventual inheritor. What I want is immaterial. The luminaries will dictate your future as a scriber of grimoires, an editor of spells. That said, I am Ulfsild's familiar. I can guide your early steps, get you flying in the right direction. Where you perch is up to you. Ulfsild left a number of echoes, instructional illusions, scattered throughout the library. Their aim is to guide you through the process of contacting the luminaries, making allies of them once again. There's one just behind you. See for yourself. The echo at the base of the altar is just one of many. Much of the Scalarium's knowledge has been lost to time. But if Magnus wills it, Ulfsild's preparations should be enough to see us through. And I have questions for you. It's been so long since I've spoken to someone like this. Fly back to me when you have followed Ulfsild's instructions.
If you are seeing this, the Kroll has set you on the path to learn the art of scribing. A world of magic awaits you. I've left behind another sort of guide, the True Sight Lens. Seek it out in the East Wing. The lens and the fables are signposts to seek the luminaries, and they will teach you far more than I ever could. I made this lens so you might see the world as I do. The very warp and weft of magic laid out before me. A look through the lens will allow you to see impressions left behind by the luminaries. Follow these signposts, and you will find their domains.
Good. You found the lens. It will be your most important tool in tracing a path to the luminaries. Merely holding the lens will attune you to the flow of magic. You will begin to see focal points, impressions left behind by these mystical beings. It's quite simple. Stand in one and peer through the lens. Hidden magics in many forms will be revealed to you. Doors, glyphs, even secrets layered within tomes. But here, enough talk. Let's begin. Gather your feathers about you. Nearby you will see a focal point and the Fable of the Indrik. Read the book, then step into the focal point. Peer through the lens, and you'll see the tome in an all-new light. Ulfsild's secrets are all around us. You need only know where to look. Read the Fable of the Indrik, then use the lens and re-examine the tome. You'll see what I mean. Ulfsild created the True Sight lens as she developed the art of scribing. From a young age, she could see magic in a way few others could. This intuitive understanding of magic was what led her to the luminaries, and inspired scribing itself. Seeing and understanding are two different things, interloper. The lens was a tool, a high branch to give her a bird's-eye view of impressions left behind by the luminaries. From a very young age, Archmage Ulfsild found she could see the current of magic as it flowed across Nirn. Faintly at times, more strongly in others. A rare and precious gift, one granted by Magnus himself, no doubt. Now enter the focal point and peer through the lens. You will see what was unseen in the fable. Excellent. Ulfsild's annotations will tell you where you need to go. You've seen the hidden annotations then, and you know where you are going? You should be able to follow those annotations in sequence, leading you from location to location. Just like the hunter in the fable, you seek the Indrik now. Let Ulfsild be your guide. As this is your first time, I will accompany you into the field. Not everything you need to know is on the page. I will teach you how to break the luminary wards and retrieve key fragments to enter the Indrik's domain. I'll meet you at the Lady's Standing Stone in Oradon. How nice it'll be to really stretch my wings again. Indeed, Ulfsild gathered hundreds of tomes in her search for these tales. A small handful of her annotated volumes will be needed to find the luminaries. Beyond the Indrik, you will seek them out in whatever order you choose. Ulfsild felt a kinship with him. He was the first of the luminaries to ally with the Archmage, and the first to commit his power to the altar. If any of these unorthodox beings are still loyal to Ulfsild, I felt he would be the one. Tilt your head, and think of the altar as the heart of the Scholarium. Without it, the library would simply be a graveyard of tomes. A lifeless shell filled with old knowledge and stories of the past. What makes that heart beat? What gives it life? Yes. Before the doors were sealed, the Indrik, Netch, Dragon, and Griffin fed the altar their strength. Now the heart of the Scholarium struggles to beat, and without that beating heart, your mastery of scribing will stagnate. Ah, there's the trick. We don't. Ulfsild underwent trials to prove her worth, to gain their trust. But that was lifetimes ago. All we can hope to do now is find the luminaries and remind them of their promise to Ulfsild. The rest is up to you. Here we are, where the fabled chase began. Ah, what a flight! I almost didn't want to land. But, to business. The luminaries are beings of great power. Each has a domain they have shaped to their choosing. Each domain has a door, and each door, of course, has a key. As I said in the library, let the fable be your guide. We are here at the Lady, the first annotated location in the fable. Just as you did back at the Scholarium, peer through the true sight lens within a focal point. Magic wards left behind by the Indrik. A trio of these wards hide a fragment of his key. Once revealed, these wards can be dispelled from a distance. Clear them all, and the key fragment will be revealed. Don't worry, I'll help you find it. If the luminaries share one trait, it's a love of a challenge overcome. Yes, you'll need to gather 3 key fragments to open the Indrik's door. Let's begin, and remember, if you lose your sight, there will always be more focal points at hand. Peer through the lens, reveal the wards, and claim the key fragment. This may seem a small step, but an incredible path waits before you. I'm not sure I can give you a simple answer to that question. Perhaps some of the luminaries can give you their perspective. My best guess? When you see magic the way they do, your taste for the company of mortal mages might sour. That ruffles the feathers more than I intended. Think of it this way. Your average archmage is just a neophyte compared to the luminaries. I think these hidden keys are a way to dissuade, let's call them, casual questions. The lens shows you magic the way Ulfsild saw it. Shades of how the luminaries see it. Now, find the wards. Your vision has faded. Find another focal point. Each will be in sight of a ward. Your vision has faded once more. Find another focal point. Peer through the lens and break the wards to find the key fragment. The wards are gone, and the fragment revealed. The first key fragment is yours. Well done. You've taken to this well, your early steps to master scribing. But from here I must take my leave. Return to the Scholarium. Ulfsild, I believe, wanted her inheritor to walk this path alone. Just as you did here, use the fable to find your way. Dispel the wards, and with key in hand, you should be able to open the door and meet the luminary Indrik face to face. He will likely ask you to prove yourself worthy of his power. I have a good feeling about you, interloper, altar breaker. I have faith you can do it. Magnus guide you on your journey, and I'll see you back at the Scholarium. Just remember, you can always reference the fable of the Indrik from your bag. Ulfsild's annotations will guide you on your journey. Find the wards, obtain the fragments, and soon you shall meet your first luminary of magic. Just remember, in your quest to meet other luminaries, I will not be around to act as a guide. The next set of wards lie within the ruins of Ondil. The third are on the eastern island of Buranim. Ulfsild's annotations make that clear. It lies on an island off the southwest coast of Oradon, atop a rise that now features a lighthouse beacon. You'll find it, interloper, just as Ulfsild did, all those years ago. Excellent. The wards are nearby. Seek the key fragment. Walk the path. Gather your feathers about you. The last fragment is within those ruins. You've flown true. The luminary Indrik's door is close. Find the path to the top, and take the next step on your journey.
It has been many long years since a mortal entered my domain. And now here you are, following in Ulfsild's footsteps. Welcome to my domain, adventurer, bearer of my fable. I sense the power of the Scholarium within you. Your ink-stained hands have touched the altar's magic. I sensed too when Ulfsild's essence faded from this realm. After all these years, do you hope to be her inheritor? I sense potential. You hunger for power, much as Ulfsild did when she sought me out all those years ago. I will ask you the same question I asked her. Do you deserve this power? The power to edit grimoires, to rewrite magic? An honest answer, and wise. I offer the power to maim or mend, to blast with flame or freeze with ice. Such a gift is not taken lightly. But first, my door must open once again. Place the fable you carry with you upon the dais. A story is never just a story. It has the power to change from within and without. The fable of the Indrik acts as a symbolic connection, a commitment from me to you. Place the book and open the path. It's good to taste the ink of the Scholarium upon the air again. Power can mean many things. Its meaning may change with each new day, each turn of the season. Ulfsild learned this hard lesson when the Scholarium slipped away. If I am to teach you as I taught her, I must learn what power means to you. A scroll nearby details a series of challenges, expressions of power, both subtle and not. Choose two to complete, that I might know what power means to you. You do not know me yet, but I am no taskmaster. Power expressed against one's will is no power at all. Attempt only the challenges that appeal to you. When you are done, return, and we will take your next step together. Rest easy. I would not set you to task without cause. There is method to my mindset. In the meantime, you have many questions. Mortals always do. I would be disappointed if you did not. Scribing is an art esoteric, translating the very stuff of magic into mortal hands by luminary liaison. There's much you do not understand. Yet. To consider the meaning of power. Every being alive thinks they understand it. But how to gain power, or what power to gain, is not the crucial question. How should power be used? That is what drives me. Gladiators in a ring, the unquiet dead, a Daedric incursion, overlords reigning in the depths. They all possess the means to destroy, to control. I encourage you to see that power firsthand, and consider how you yourself would use it. The act of scribing is really quite simple. You focus your will, put ink to parchment, and scrawl your soul upon the page. You change the magic, and the magic changes you. Focus your intent, and fire becomes frost. Venom becomes shock. That was Ulfsild's choice. She spoke to other scholars of her time, her husband, her friends. But scribing was a path she walked alone. It was a choice I believe she came to regret in the end. If magic is a river, we are eddies in the current. We are not masters of the river, but we are a part of it. The river is us. We are the river. Each of us awakened in a different manner, time, and place. I am the oldest to choose my form, I believe. Why are you the way that you are? Why do you have smooth skin, 2 eyes, and walk upon 2 legs? You are what you were born to be, and I am the same. I was able to choose my shape, but there was no other shape I could have been. My pocket domain, shaped and hewn into being in the same way I chose my form. I find it a pleasant respite from the larger world. Other luminary domains may have been formed with different goals. Indeed, each of us formed a pocket realm as we were born. None of us could answer the question of why, if that has risen to the top of your mind. Each of us has an opinion, of course, but that's also in our very nature, it would seem. I think we are very alone, each of us, and Aetherius, in its wisdom, did not wish us to be both alone and wandering. This sense of isolation is something we each grapple with in our own way, as did Ulfsild, of course. Only partially. Scribing, even in its earliest incarnations, seemed destined to use a luminary's power. It was Ulfsild's idea to bind my domain to the Scholarium, which in turn led to great achievements and those beautiful doors. In Ulfsild's time, yes, it did. The strength of the luminaries channeled into the very heart of the scribing altar allowed for incredible feats, and may do so again, depending on how you fare. The noble beast whose shape I chose felt right at home among these falling petals and verdant greens. When I need a moment's peace, or to rid my mind of stray thoughts, I'm grateful that this was the space that formed around me. Well done, mortal. You have risen to the challenge. One task remains. If I am to lend you my strength, you must lend me yours. Power for power. A wrong righted, and another step on the path. My own. One day, as I enjoyed the sun upon my pelt, I beheld a hunter tracking an Indrik and her fawn. The hunter moved in to claim their prize, and the hind perished. The fawn leapt for freedom, and the hunter gave chase. I stepped in. I imbued the fawn with a wisp of my power, but in acting with haste, I acted unwisely. My power protected the fawn, true enough, but it gathered the hunter in its wake. Now predator and prey are trapped in a chase unending. I granted my power to a being that did not ask for it, and did not know how to use it. The height of arrogance. A vice I have been accused of on occasion. Use the lens, find their trail, and release these poor souls from my power without focus. Seek the fawn and the hunter in a southern Auridon cavern. Del's Claim, I believe it is called today. Restore this ill-used power, and I will lend my strength to yours. A signpost on your path to master scribing. Of course, this chase has been running for some time now. Another moment to clarify your mind, improve your focus, will not hurt. I was already old when Ulfsild and I first spoke, centuries ago. I have lived the length of many mortal lives. To see such a young, beautiful creature on the verge of oblivion, I acted without thinking. A mistake in the end. Truth is a form of power, mortal. And the truth is that I have made poor decisions, just as you have. One of the things that binds us together, I suppose. The gods want us to learn by doing, and failure is a very instructive teacher.
Come now, little fawn. You cannot run forever. No quarry can escape me. Hounds, after it! You were quite the challenge, little fawn. Another trophy for my collection. Hounds, attack! Take my soul.
Just as I said, my power overwhelms the fawn. A ward of that power now binds it. Dispel the ward. You are free, little one. Free to... What? Of course. You may return with us if you wish. I will see both of you in my domain then. I will grant my promised power to the one that sought it, and offer safe harbor to the one that did not. The Fawn is safe. My strength returned. And you have had a moment, I hope, to reflect on power and its wise application. Now, as with Ulfsil before you, I offer you the Sigil of the Indrik. You will take it to the altar and imbue my strength within. The power I pass to you will infuse every drop of ink, every sheet of parchment, each whorl and dot upon the page. Until now, your mastery of the art was limited. With my support, your horizon expands. So too, the vision of your allies. I will ensure their efforts to explore and chronicle the contents of the Scholarium meet with success. Your knight has returned, with allies at her side. But that can wait. Mortal, fable-bearer, friend, accept my gift to you. The power of a luminary of magic. You have completed my trials. You have shown wisdom in the use of your power. Take my sigil. Join its essence with the altar. And let the ink flow once again.
You don't see that every day. Nali is going to want to hear about this.
Good to see you again. You'll find her over in the East Wing with our newest arrival.
There you are. I wanted to introduce you. This is Chronicler Ferandil.
Good to meet you. Nolia and I have been touring the library and I've already found, well, some terribly surprising things.
Ferandil is a chronicler, one of the best the guild has to offer. You two talk a moment, and then we can discuss what comes next.
Chronicler Ferandil, at your service. Chronicler of tomes, scrolls, scripts, and otherworldly delights. I'm glad that I was able to make the trip. I think you'll find my skills quite valuable on this most unexpected expedition. I've been tasked with facilitating this lost art form you've rediscovered. Scribing. How novel. As I understand it, you will be contacting and convincing these luminary creatures, empowering the altar and all that. I'll scour the complex for grimoires and scripts. I've already found quite a few, aided, perhaps, by that... what's his name? Indrik chap. I've never been led by a fawn to a trove of ancient secrets before, but it was an exciting experience. Don't worry, I will do my very, very best to ensure I have what you're looking for. I take my role as chronicler for this expedition quite seriously. But of course you do. Ask away, my new friend. Happy to help in any way I can. I believe so, yes. I have a good imagination, you can ask anyone. But I can think of few other reasons for an Indrik fawn to be traipsing about the depths of an ancient library carved from a Somerset island. I most certainly hope so. This place is massive, and any assistance they might put forward would be deeply appreciated. You can tell them that Chronicler Ferandil said so when you speak to them. In the Great Mages Guild hierarchy, it's a bit of an informal title. It's passed around by a few adepts, like myself, with a penchant for the identification and illumination of ancient secrets. Isn't it beautiful down here? Just exquisite chisel work on the walls. When the votary here described this place, well, I just had to come along. And I'm so very glad I did.
It's good to be back. I know it took some time to get us all down here. Apologies. Archmage Galarian and the Votary Commander needed significant convincing to turn this into a full-fledged expedition. How did it go with the Crow? You just continue to impress again and again. With the luminary strength added to the altar, who knows what you'll be able to accomplish? As you might imagine, guild leadership is very interested in the art of scribing. For the duration, you have more luminaries to find, this complex needs to be explored, and the secrets of scribing are just waiting to be teased from the past. What about you, friend? This expedition would be nothing without you. Magnus be praised. We've secured supplies for a full-fledged expedition, you've allied with your first luminary, and the altar surges with new power. Not bad for a day's work. What happens next is up to you, be it griffin, netch, or dragon. We've gathered the fables in the main hall. If you have any questions, let me know. Except for what's beyond the unmarked door. We do not. Julian and I have already begun speculating based on some early hints. Our best guess? It's Ulfsild's private study. But I suppose we'll find out, won't we? I did, and she was a bit cryptic. I mean, especially cryptic. Sometimes it's hard to tell with a magical talking crow, but she seemed like she didn't want to talk about it. You mean Ferandil? I reached out to him while I was waiting for the votary commander to decide what she wanted me to do. I've worked with him in the past, and he's unusual, but he's the best at what he does. Absolutely. We're relying on him to help us understand what's useful, what's valuable, and what's just scrap paper. He told me the altar is already vibrating along his transmutational axis. I have no idea what that means, but I think it's good. Ferandil has this way of getting his hands on things you wouldn't expect, like he's got a sixth sense about ancient relics and magic. Basically, he's a treasure hunter and merchant, but he's extremely reliable.